My name is Elsa Lynch, and we have Dylan Lobau, is it?
Yeah, Dylan Loba, yes. Here for Overwatch 2.
Overwatch 2. We are now in
Overwatch
Overwatch 2 now. And we are bringing to you the NECC tournament with GCU versus Fisher College tonight. And so right now we have our best of 5, and we have our map pool lined up. Our first map being Ilios, which is going to be very exciting.
Very exciting. Going to be watching these two competitive teams go against each other today. I'm very excited to see what each team has to offer, how to see if GCU pulls out a win or not.
Yeah, last week, unfortunately, we did not win against the Grandview Vikings, but I am holding out a lot of hope that our varsity team will make a huge comeback.
Kiriko is now in competitive play, isn't she?
Yes, she is, and that is going to shake up the gameplay a little bit because previously we were only allowed to see Sojourn and Junker Queen. But now, after the brief period, Kiriko is now allowed to enter competitive play, both in standard play and in collegiate and professional leagues.
I think it would be a little bit of an understatement to say that Kiriko's ult is one of the most insane ultimates in the game. It's definitely taking over in competitive play right now. We see lots of players using that to its advantage. I'm
Absolutely.
interested to see how kind of Blizzard tweaks that ultimate a little bit to the meta.
For those of us who are watching that do not know, Kiriko's ultimate is called the Kitsune Rush, and this has been shaking up play because it provides a huge boost to all allies that are able to stay within the set path that she lays out for them. It's a nice little highlighted ultimate, easy to see during gameplay, and it's a straight line that your team can follow, and while you're on that line for the time duration, you are granted a lot of boosts all around the board between attack, defense, damage, everything, including firing speed, reload speed. Everything just gets buffed. It is insane.
I gotta say, having some of these DPS in the Kitsune trail is absolutely insane. I was just using Genji the other day, and his ultimate ability is just over the top, sword slicing ×5. I really do feel like I'm in an anime playing Overwatch.
Yeah. When it comes to a bunch of those speed type heroes, you really see the difference, especially when you combo ultimates. Roadhog and Soldier 76 were some of the craziest ones that I had seen. I don't know if you saw Roadhog before with that ultimate. Roadhog having his whole hog it just turns into a Gatling gun. It's not like the standard firing. It's just he's just mows people down. It is the scariest thing I've ever seen. It's happened to me twice where I either just get eviscerated in a few seconds, or it's such a big power boost that I just get thrown off the map.
Now that we're in Overwatch 2, being able to use Roadhog's ability, you now can control it with your primary fire.
You can actually control Roadhog's ultimate now. Originally, in Overwatch 1, you weren't able to stop and or slow down your ultimate fire, but now you can just choose to dead-on stop it if you absolutely have to, which is great for control and just more maneuverability and workarounds for Roadhog.
Makes you feel like you're actually playing Roadhog too. Now you can actually stop your abilities and have more control of the character.
Yeah, and a lot of heroes actually started getting those sorts of changes, such as Reinhardt. He actually can now control his charge. So originally, Reinhardt would just charge a straight line until he hit a wall, went off the map, or hit that distance range where he would just stop. But now players can actually stop that charge and control what happens during that charge. So they can either decide, hey, I'm going to fall out before, or fall back before this engagement gets any worse, or they can just, it really just choose, my apologies, it really
gives more control to the player, absolutely.
Reinhardt is actually gotten huge improvements, and so that was one of the major concerns with, only having one tank in the game is, can these changes hold up with only having one tank now? Absolutely. And now Blizzard's still having to decide if certain tanks need to be tweaked, such as now we're having to deal with the Doomfist problem. Doomfist and Zarya, where they're two opposite sides of the coin. You have Doomfist, who feels severely underpowered now being in that tank category. And then you have Zarya, who's claimed to be S tier, where she has so much power now, and part of this trio that I actually heard about through some Overwatch players previously before tonight, where there is essentially a triangle where you have, I believe it's Zarya beats. I think it's because I think the three tanks are
Oh,
Zarya,
like rock, paper, scissors,
Rotom.
as
Yeah,
you're
kind of like
saying.
rock paper
Yes.
scissors. So I know for sure there's Zarya and Junker Queen, and then I think the third one is supposed to be like Roadhog or something.
Maybe a
And so
Diva
it's
or
like
Rogue.
Zarya beats was it Zarya? Oh no, maybe it was like Diva.
Yeah, I think it was.
And
I think
so
it's Diva,
it's
Zarya.
like Zarya beats Diva, I think,
Yeah,
and then Diva beats
Rocket probably. Or
yeah.
yeah.
It's the I can't remember the exact system, but it was honestly very cool to hear about because that essentially just defines the meta right now, where it's if you see one tank, then you can immediately counter it with another just by having
Absolutely.
that logic like just set for you.
Now, I don't believe it is meta. It definitely isn't actually, but all the time in competitive play, I often see in open queue people running two tanks, and I'll often lose to that. I'll often lose to two tanks being on a team with two healers and a damage. It's actually surprising kind of what the 5v5 combat mode does to just really the whole meta.
Well, I mean, because open queue is a lot different from your standard competitive play. All right, I just got word that we are actually going to be starting our match here soon, and so we are going to be going into our first map, Ilios, against Fisher College. And so I think we haven't gotten to take a look at the rosters yet, but I am really sincerely hoping that we get to see some incredible DPS plays here again. And I think
Here
I'm
we
going to be right.
go.
We have the return of our roster from last week, where we have Bomax, Synecdoche, Tinkerbell, Red Dawn, and Q-Tip.
My boy Q-Tip.
And so right now it looks like we are starting off on Lighthouse, which is honestly I think it's my favorite point out of the three for Ilios when it comes to the capture
Absolutely.
perspective.
I don't know what it is about this map, but that's such fun diamonds, especially on cap. It's got lots of room. He's got lots of balls, lots of combat engagement.
Oh, and as we're starting off here, it looks like this engagement is taking one from both sides, each from the Lucios, surprisingly, getting both Soundwave kills on each other.
I love how we're seeing Kiriko play here in competitive today. It's awesome too.
Very expected with her now being allowed into comp. And it looks like Bomax just got taken out by Kabe there. And so this is going to be interesting. It looks like GCU is having to back out a little bit on that engagement while Fisher gets the objective. So this is really interesting because we haven't gotten to see any of this gameplay before with Kiriko, so it's hard to say whether these team comps are going to work in favor one way or the other. Although it seems, for the most part, the comps are kind of mirrored, with the exception of one DPS, where Synecdoche and Forgotten are the odd ones out here.
So something I love about Overwatch is no matter how skilled you are, these players are able to hop on some of the new characters and just be absolutely heroes, but
Looks like Slinkerbell got a kill onto Neb, so with one support out, they could try and push for an engagement here and potentially take that point. But right now it looks like Slinkerbell is trying to kind of pick at the Pharah and trying to get them to kind of back up a bit and give DC some room to push in.
Genji right now is also in the play state.
Oh, and there was a kill as Forgotten tried to go for that rocket barrage.
There's consuming rough, guys. That's definitely what a little play of that can look like.
It looks like both sides had activated that Kitsune Rush. It was a little hard to kind of see from that perspective, but Kitsune Rush definitely can make or break a fight. And it looks like GCU is making it. They're going for the point capture. And with Fisher having 83% to their name, GC is going to have to defend this whole time or risk losing the point for this round.
Healers are doing an incredible job keeping the teammates alive. He's not able to heal out a lot per second.
Right now, looks like GCU's got 2 ultimates under their belt. We have the Overclock and Graviton Surge for GCU. Oh, and now getting Dragon Blade ready to go as well. Meanwhile, Fisher doesn't have any ultimates ready. Right now, GCU is at an advantage ultimate-wise.
Some current ultimate character who's in the play today has an amazing ultimate ability to do real massive damage. Let's do it. Which strengthens his power to offer to it.
Yeah, but it looks like GCU just burned 2 ultimates using Overclock and Dragon Blade and managed to keep Fisher at bay. So now they're starting to creep up on that percentage count. And it's looking pretty good. I mean, in terms of ultimate usage, GCU has been a little bit more conservative and been able to keep those for the fights that matter. It looks like Fisher's kind of falling behind, still not quite ready to use any ultimates yet. And there goes the Graviton!
Wow.
Oh my lord, that is almost an entire team wipe!
That was insane. That was a great use of Zarya's ultimate ability. The team all there ready to do a lot of damage.
Oh, and they're slowly picking off the stragglers, and so right now, we're gonna have Kitsune Rush ready for
I'm
GCU.
so excited to see it again.
And wow, Fisher's still kind of staggering behind. It really looks like GCU is going to be on top of this. I mean, Q-Tip's coming up on a sound barrier. Kiriko's already got her Kitsune Rush.
Fisher needs a contest here. We're at 98%. There's the contest.
Oh, and there's that Kitsune Rush from GCU, and looks like they are already on top of it.
Ult.
Oh, what an amazing engagement right there. And Genji just kind of going in there trying to block and deflect, getting them.
Fisher steals the pesky.
They are trying really hard.
Keeping it up.
GCU takes Lighthouse.
GCU takes Lighthouse. As you can see, just Kitsune Rush just having a huge impact, let alone on the game. We didn't see any crazy plays, but just the support it brings to all the players, and it was quick to like.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot to be said about the supports this round. Between Red Dawn and Q-Tip, they were doing a great job at keeping their teammates alive, and they built up those ultimates relatively quickly. I believe Red Dawn at least used Kitsune Rush twice, at the bare minimum.
Yep.
And so it's interesting to see if Fisher is going to try and switch up their comp, or if they're going to still try and combat GCU with the same comp.
I've noticed that one of the players in Fisher College, I think was having a fun. They were running Bara. I'm interested to see how Kiriko and Bara is going.
Yeah, I'd like to point out that at the beginning of that round, where we just saw Cynic Doge and I believe Kabe both were Symmetra, and then used those teleporters only to switch off immediately after the team teleported. So that's been an interesting strategy used in Pro. So seeing it here is very exciting, and GCU coming in hot. Although it looks like Fisher is starting to kind of fight back. Right now, the fight is still ongoing, so it's hard to say who's going to come out, but it looks like Twinkerfell. Yeah. Kiriko coming in, getting what I saw at least 3 kills on the board. Oh, and then Abs pulling into the well.
A Lucio falling into the well. That's
ironic.
That is irony at its best.
All the Lucio players around the world have just shed a single tear.
A single tear. GCU looking in a great position right now, securing the point and the silver cup. Game's looking great. Zarya doing her best. Just gets in out of question.
Looks like GC is building up those ultimate builds so quickly. Everyone except Cynic is going above 50%.
Wow, Fisher trying to make some big plays happen.
Oh, Bomax gets taken out by Avani, Neb taking out Q-Tip, and so now we are looking at GCU being down 2. Can they hold out with just 1 support and 2 DPS? Oh! Supergirl getting forgotten despite being stuck by that sticky grenade. But Kabe getting a Tinkerbell, how unfortunate.
Tinkerbell
And
does such a great job on 1-on-1.
Tinkerbell's been doing amazing in terms of those engagements, but it looks like Pusher was able to grab that objective, and so now they are about to beat GCU in percentage, now going upwards of 25%. And it looks like there's that Kitsune rush. They're going to try and get forward and start really heaping some hurt. There goes Avani. Forgotten getting Q-tip though. So now GCU's down one support. And they're down Cynic after Forgotten used that Deadeye.
Sorry, over gold there, unfortunately dying.
Alright, I think next push we can expect a combo volt from GCU. I'm fully expecting that Graviton Surge and that Dragon Blade. That's gonna be, it's a very iconic and very useful ultimate combo. And we're also popping up on Overclock here for Cynic. There goes the combo! That amazing Wombo combo.
Wow, the Sojourn's bomb right in the middle of it. Huge way to get in.
And there it is.
Wow.
That amazing Graviton Dragon Blade combo. I love seeing it every time. It's annoying to go against, but it's also amazing to be able to synergize and get it for yourself.
Absolutely. Although one of the most iconic ultimates you can do with Zarya and Genji is still proves useful today.
As we're seeing here, Bomax is just trying to get some hot shots on for them. Just kind of build up a little bit of that ult charge. There goes that sounder here from Q-tip. They're fully expecting that rush, and right now they are trying to be a little bit more on the offensive, talking about getting Kabe. So right now they are at a player advantage.
Bomax is trying to contest point in the regular side.
Tinkerbell getting abs as well, although Ned getting 2 kills. Both critical headshots.
Kiriko is honestly amazing, but the Janus output is so scary. Doing your thoughts right, you definitely have a leg up on this team.
Doesn't look like they'll be able to touch, and so now we are 1-1 on
1-1.
Helios. Our last point for this map is going to be Ruins. And so this is going to be interesting because the point itself is similar to Well, is a little bit more closed off. It has a little bit of borders around it. And with it being a little bit like sub-level, a little bit below the standard ground level of the rest of the map, there tends to be like where all the action converges down there, and it's hard to get out of it. So
can we expect a lot of long-range plays?
We could expect some long-range plays here. It looks like Forgotten is going for that Widowmaker. Unsure if that's the pick they are going to stick to. If so, that could be dangerous.
Fisher getting an Ana as well.
And it looks like BC is sticking to their guns on their usual comp, which could prove useful, especially without Lucio. Abs falling off the map? Not sure what happened there. And right now, it looks like Bomax is again taking those hot shots using those bubbles, trying to build up charge, both ultimate and damage wise. But wow, Bomax is hurt and taken out.
Zarya versus Zarya comes down to the bubble. Being able to
Tinkerbell's hurt too. Cynic just got taken out by Forgotten.
Kiriko doing the best. Heals up.
Looks like Q-tip's going back. Potentially for a switch? No, just a taxi. Now, again, Battle of the Zarya here. Bomax is in the bubbles, trying to get some charge. However, Bomax is hurt and not getting a lot of healing and getting antied by Abs. That's gonna hurt. Cynic goes building up the charge on the railgun and missing that shot, fortunately. Oh, Bomax got taken out by Kabe.
Great job holding the ground.
Yep, Fisher is holding strong with 40% now on their counter. He's gonna have to either make some changes or find a way to push through the really solid defense of the group.
Really amazing with the Zerkos. They got him pushed so far back.
Looks like there goes that Nano boost on a Fisher going on to like, couldn't quite see where that enemy went, but they're now pushing back towards their spawn.
Wow. They are now officially spawn camping.
It looks like the only ultimate GCU has is the Kitsune Rush, and so we'll have to see if that will be enough, because now Fisher's bringing up the pace.
Wow, Genji getting huge boots like that, literally.
Sudan is getting really low on HP. They managed to push themselves out of the spawn. There goes Abs, so that's one support down. They can take out Kabe as well, and there he goes. But the guys did take out Synchros. Right now, GCU is down one of their DPS players, and Bomac is kind of hurt. Now getting killed. And with that Graviton ready, this is going to be GCU's chance. They managed to barely capture it.
Cussing. Zarya bubble is just there, absorbing all of that damage.
It's very interesting to see that they're not afraid to zap at each other's Zarya bubbles.
Oh no, they're not.
If the more you shoot them, the more charge you receive, and thus the more damage you can output onto the enemy. So the fact that they are willingly shooting each other's bubbles, that was interesting.
It's very interesting to see, because I maybe the bubbles as well.
No, not canceling bubbles, and it's tragic, but it does look like they're coming out on taking Ilios. But we're not done yet. We are in a best of 5 match. So our next map is, I believe, Midtown.
Midtown. Is that also a capture map? A King of the Hill map? Or is it
It's hybrid.
Hybrid.
So you capture the point and then you escort the payload.
Yes.
And so hopefully this is going to be the chance for GCU to make a comeback. And it's not over until a team gets to 3. That's the rules of the game. And hopefully we will come out on top.
Awesome. Well, great first match. Awesome to see Tinkerbell securing the play of the game. Obviously, just great to have her on GCU for damage.
Yeah, Tinkerbell is an amazing DPS player along with Synecdoche. I've seen their gameplay countless times. It is amazing to see. It's a little unfortunate. I think in the end there, it kind of came down to how the Zaryas utilized their charge and damage output. Overall, ultimate-wise, it did look like GCU was a lot better at being conservative with
It's
the ultimate.
synergetic as well.
Yeah, that synergy is paramount in terms of team fights. Like seeing that Graviton blade on the well, that was amazing.
It's huge. I mean, plays like that secure a game. Just able to have the chemistry with your teammates, understanding when they're going to pull it off.
Exactly.
Yes, huge skill gap with Overwatch. I wanted to ask you, as a Lucio player, I heard you say before that, the Lucio was making an effort to taxi players.
Yeah.
As a Lucio main, how important is taxiing?
So taxiing, it's not. Yeah. So I mean, in terms of like taxiing Lucio players, you kind of see it here and there. It's not always a constant thing. Taxiing is very important when you need to try and get your more like heavier, like clunky, like your tanks or like your slower DPS players, trying to get them back to the team fight. So it's with that speed boost, it can be very helpful, especially if you have to go a long distance to try and get them back. And usually taxiing is used when there's about to be like ultimate combos and one player's needed, or they feel like they can't do this fight without another person being there.
I love how even when it comes to taxiing players, there's still skill involved. I mean, you still need to be aware of where your other teams are. You're not just able to
Exactly.
leave your team
leave
from
your team
healing.
at all times,
And yes, absolutely.
Because you're not just, I mean, with Lucio, you're not just speed boosting, you're also healing, and you're supposed to be covering a good amount of your players, because his whole thing is area of effect healing. And so once they're outside of your radius, you can't heal them, and that radius healing now fights as well. The more you heal, the better, and the more people you heal. And so it looks like now we are going to be starting our game on Midtown. This is going to be very exciting.
Yes. I mean, if you see some playable action, I got it over here. It's moving, they are attacking the payload. It's just awesome to see the team move together and introduce them. Ultimately, great synergy as the team. Let's see what GCU can pull off here.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very exciting. And so now it looks like we are seeing the exact same comp from Ilios on GCU side. We've got Egypt playing GCU, Red Dawn on Kiriko, Interval on Genji, Synecdoche on Soju, and
Best laid plans have backup plans.
it's going to be interesting. We're essentially seeing the exact same comp as that final round on Ilios, so
We will be the light.
if you're on the attack, you can see
What's
how
up?
that Widowmaker is going to come into play.
Absolutely. I mean, for 5v5 Overwatch, I gotta say, Widow,
Five,
in my opinion, is
four,
one of the best
three,
DPS, just able to
two,
single out
one.
player.
Attackers
Ever.
incoming.
Oh,
Defend
Oh,
objective
that
A.
Widow switch.
Go Soldier.
Now we are running almost identical. Now we have
Battle of Christ.
Oh, that is
Next time,
okay.
think
On
twice.
GCU, however. Oh, but they got
Oh,
taken out.
man.
That is a successful rush from Fisher.
They're gonna see my cap point A here. It's very interesting to see the different ways to play players. Even when they are different jump shots as well.
Yeah, they might be able to touch here, and they go for it. They're going to go for the test to try
Wow.
and Womack got
Great
right down
job.
right away. Tinkerbell, though, getting the jump one support, and Tinker can't get off. Other Tinkerbell going in and then getting choked.
1 HP left.
Oh, and then Kame getting a 3 kill. Okay, on to GCU. It is up to Egypt to try and hold the line.
Another reason why we do so good. Wow.
Oh, no.
Amazing at contesting the point on.
On the point after taking out Kame. What an amazing.
That was
I never expected to see fighting but that is the why.
I love to see that.
That is the benefit of but he gets caught
It gets Bobby.
but still dies in the end. So now Fisher is able to make that point and
Great effort
start
by
The
implementing
payload.
Great effort, buddy.
very great effort. Very unique plays that I once again have not seen before. It always brings out the best in super fun to watch.
Hey, Nick, just don't got in the corner. Not on Zarya.
Now, Fisher is getting a really good payload pushing right
What's
there.
up?
They are already halfway to the second point.
Fighter of a view.
Now that fire
Wow.
sound barrier from Q-Tip trying to protect. Synecdoche getting kills on Forgotten and Amon.
Wow.
And
Wow. Q-Tip.
Q-Tip coming in kill on Ab. Q-Tip is out for
Sound.
blood.
Even some. Hey, this looks all.
Ready with Dragon Blade, Overclock, and
I'm ready to overclock.
So we get another
See right here.
we might see that Abicon combo.
Yeah, I love that. There it is. There's the Dragon Blade.
What's the immunity? That Graviton to back it up was amazing.
Great sauce, clean vibe.
They're chasing after Kabe. Are they gonna get him? They're trying to stagger him, and it looks like nope.
Both Genjis do a great job.
Yeah, both Tinkerbell and Kabe are very awesome.
It's go time.
Wow.
That was incredible.
Fisher is just phenomenal. You're out of
Victor,
there.
after he mentioned that song, and 3 minutes on the clock to get
Let the keep get you.
Here we go.
Like basically got that wall trying to protect his teammates.
Okay, what is
Well, we had actually talked about before the stream. You had mentioned this was, I had seen it before, but that's it. I didn't understand how to do it by this year.
Yeah, Fisher ain't very happy with Kiriko right now.
It's about to get real.
With 2 minutes left on the clock, call out before the Oh, really going in at
Wow.
the finish there, Scott Kabe, and so that means he's going to the Red Dog side for the Warriors.
Oh. Janice out.
Holding the line on the table.
I believe so. She was something I noticed about Glenn's passing. Ryan's on actually grabbed with that.
60 seconds.
Glenn
Remaining.
play out the ball.
That
Yeah. Really bad.
really does take away all of that.
It's go time.
Wow. It wasn't a great talk in the street.
Keep getting abs again.
Wow.
And Red Dot both support out of one.
Disappeared. 20 seconds left in the clock.
Being able to stop that payload before that third point is such a game.
Even though
Let the keep get you.
There's both hitting and staggering. Hold it, however, it looks like they go down 1-1.
Zarya's use of bobble is insane for Fisher quality.
It looks like he's waiting to contest. There they go. They get attacked by Thunder. Taking out Neb, though. Are they going to be able to touch?
Oh!
But they did bring it to overtime.
Did bring it
So what we're looking at here now is if GCU makes it to the end, they both will have 1 minute on the clock. And then they'll have to try and essentially fight to see who can get the further.
We might see a very tight game.
Yeah, this.
Initiating.
So now there's that pressure on GCU. They have to make it all the way through now.
I gotta say, I love the switch at the end to Hamster. to make that switch is invaluable. Not only does he get to point faster, but he's able to contest it for so long.
Yeah, unfortunately, that Wrecking Ball switch did seem to come in a little late. They were not able to get that contest. However, I think we could expect to see a very aggressive assault from GCU. They are usually really good about in like
If
that
we do this right,
hard on
they won't
benefit.
even know what happened.
You can see Fisher making the change to jump off of it.
Follow my lead.
Yeah,
I'll make sure this goes
it's
smoothly.
not forgotten on the Junkrat earlier on in that round, and they did a pretty decent job. So
I noticed from our views, since we can see all the
This
players
coming.
outlined
So
on the
let's give
map,
it to
the
them.
Junkrat was just trying to do its best to hide and really get those quick flanks and some damage as they
What's up?
Everyone ready?
Notice him hiding in corners of the room, just being unnoticed. A
yeah,
little bit of a troll we got at Fisher College.
it's really interesting because having it no movement actually hides you more than you think.
Defend objective A.
Right now, it looks like they're opting to push through the side, not through the main entry point. That looks like they get a little bit of a
Wow.
Oh!
Zarya's gone, that is huge!
God, it is instant. An incredible push here. Already on the point. Already securing
Wow.
the pick. They are holding him off so aggressively. 2 picks.
We love to see it start pod in here. We know GCU has nothing to do.
Oh, they are trying to use that contest. But this
There it is.
That was under a minute.
Under a minute.
That was awesome. That quick pick onto Zarya was all it took, and then Fisher started falling apart. Then Junkrat's still hiding up there in the train and getting taken outside quickly. Their team is now very staggered, and GCU in that hot.
We see some damage mercy right here. I'm not hard stop.
Like Junkrat's trying to go in to burn up close and personal engagement, and Kiriko trying to kind of get them from behind a little bit, kind of jumping and fighting. If getting picked in by Kabe. And there's that rip fire, not getting it, or not yet.
Oh, there it is. It's coming up.
Oh!
They got no one.
They're really pushing hard towards GCU spawn. I want that right here. What is this Tiger shooting that Zarya bubble? I'm not entirely sure if that's the best idea. I could be wrong though. I'm not very knowledgeable on exposure, and so seeing how I think that Zarya bubble also could be
I gotta say, I was pretty impressed. Wow!
going for it.
Huge push by Zarya.
Red Dot and Trader though going into the kill. Spinning getting a Kabe into now be able to start hitting back into the food. And let's do it again. Right now, he's got a little
No need
under
to check
4
on me,
minutes
doctor.
to get to the point, but there's still quite a lot of time. So doing here, we're gonna have
My ultimate's almost ready.
We have Graviton and Dragon Blade already good to go, and then Nikto is about to get overclocked.
I gotta say, I am definitely expecting the
At this point, it becomes just a signature using that as their tactic. Oh, each of them going in to try and get forgotten.
Oh wow!
Oh.
Wow! This
They
did.
brought it.
They took our signature and destroyed us with it.
Oh, and it looks like GCU ended up using their ults in the process
Going
as
for a
well.
new personal
both
best, sure.
teams lost Graviton and Blue.
Sometimes it's just a matter of who uses them first, and Fisher just got it all.
It looks like GCU had just popped theirs, and then Fisher reached out
Alley.
and now They're pushing hard, but Bonnie might end up suffering from that.
Yeah, Kevin, sorry. Yeah, double.
Forgotten got taken out by Tinkerbell, now down one of their GCS players. And looks like a Bonnie is supposed to be taken out. That Kitsu's rush and Kiriko barely saving her.
I gotta say, these Zarya sales last so long.
Yeah. It looks like Q-Tip and Red Dawn both have their ultimate, so we might expect Kitsu Rush from GCU to try and get that. And with Q-Tip having Sound Barrier, that'll be great as a counter to any ultimate that might try to be thrown. Because if Bonnie does have that Graviton and use it, there's one out. Interesting.
So, Kiriko.
Nev is gone, Avani's gone, and so now GCU is gonna rush in and get that push. Oh, interesting. Forgot he was up top. Oh, and it looks like Q-Tip is gonna push to that point and start pushing it as much as possible and coming around trying to scout Genji and Kiriko.
I love the team just you know, very parts of the enemies are. Love that feature overall. Look at those Q-tips going off, supporting his team and the Riptire.
Oh,
Wow.
Spot
That's play of the game.
from Forgotten.
That's play of the game.
Oh my goodness, that was shocking. It looked like GCU was coming out on top, and then that Riptire just came out from above and blew them away.
Never underestimate the threat of Riptire.
Looks like Bomax is about to have Graviton. That might be their saving grace. Have to see.
And with 30 seconds left on the clock.
Oh, and there goes that Graviton.
There's the Graviton. Oh, whoa.
You're able to keep the team
alive.
Oh.
What time?
Seconds left on the clock. Can GCU push for it? Are we gonna expect a rush?
Oh, we got
the wrecking
there's
ball.
the wrecking
play.
ball. Let's see what he's able to do.
Are they gonna hold out though? Can Bomax? No, Bomax cannot hold out.
Let's see, no.
Oh,
Wow.
that is Midtown.
Fisher taking it again. I gotta say, their defense is just absolutely outstanding. GCU seems like their offense is also great. But
Yeah, that Riptire was game changing.
Wow. Wow.
And so now, as they are prepping for the next match, we are going to be preparing to go into our third map, which is Circuit Royale. And Circuit Royale was one of the new maps that came in with Overwatch 2. It is our payload map. So no capture, no nothing. Just get on the payload, move it.
I love how in competitive we see these different game modes being played because they each have their own advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah. And so now with Circuit Royale, it's going to be very interesting to see what sort of strategies we'll be encountering, because as of last week, we have not seen any gameplay on most of the newer maps as far as I can remember. So seeing Midtown and Circuit Royale today is going to be very fun.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to the new maps that Overwatch 2 is going to be implementing. I believe every other season is a map, and then so one season hero, next season map. One season hero, next season map. I believe
Yeah.
that's
I think we're supposed to get one new hero next season, and then we're gonna go on that rotation of
Yes.
hero map, and then keep going with it.
I'm super excited for it. I gotta admit, I've been grinding the battle pass in Overwatch 2.
I have too. I'm already at tier 60 out of 80.
60? I just got 50 yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly amazing how quickly you can build up the battle points. And I'm really trying to get to the end there. I don't even play Genji, but that Cyber Demon Genji skin is so cool.
Well, you know he has new voice lines too. His voice is now distorted with the skin, so he actually
Oh, that
sounds
is
like the
so
demon
cool.
cyber warrior. It's very cool.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
The-
And so with this battle pass, we actually had a theme that Blizzard stated, which was more of a cyberpunk. And I actually got a skin for Sojourn, which was the cyber detective.
Oh, I noticed that on the store.
That was really cool.
That's a very cool one. Yeah.
And so I think there are new ones out, like new skins that are rotating within the shop. I think Zenyatta had one, didn't he?
I believe so. He had this cloak over him, and he was this kind of grand master. It was a very cool skin. I believe it was through Overwatch League points.
Oh yeah, that's
Yes.
so Overwatch League as well has been releasing some incredible skins too. We were looking at Clockwork Zenyatta was the one I was
That's
thinking
what it
about.
was. Yes.
And
Yep.
that is by far one of the coolest skins I've seen for Zenyatta. And I think the biggest thing though that I'm anticipating when it comes to Overwatch 2, the campaign.
Yes, the campaign.
The
That's coming
campaign
out
is
so
going to be
soon.
so much fun, coming out in, I believe we were told February of next year.
We were just kind of discussing earlier about how we're going to see more hero abilities in the campaign mode as well. So it's not going to be what we're used to normally.
There's actually going to be hero skill trees from what I remember.
Oh,
right?
really?
So it's supposed to be like you can upgrade these abilities and move, like you can pick throughout the skill tree, similar to like how you would in other types of, like
Kind of like an RPG.
yeah, kind of like an RPG type of thing where you can upgrade certain abilities the way you'd like. I haven't actually seen a lot of that gameplay or like discussion yet, but it has been kind of like the rumors have spread that that is the type of gameplay we'd be looking at.
It is Blizzard. They love their World of Warcraft. I'm sure they like it.
And now we are tuning in to Circuit Royale now. So it looks like now the comps have switched up. Surprisingly, this is a very unique lineup that I have yet to see. This completely contrasts the different team layouts we had been seeing in the previous rounds.
On the defending side, we can see some huge long-range players like Widowmaker and Ashe. I feel like this is a great map to use those players on. There's a lot of long-distance play.
And it's interesting to see Fisher taking out the Doomfist. As we were just talking about how Doomfist has been feeling a little underpowered lately.
Definitely one of those players, though. You got down, you can.
It looks like Bonnie is gonna try and prove us wrong tonight.
Actually, getting off that fall, though, that was impressive.
It was. And so, can Vomax hold out? Doesn't look like it. And so now Fisher is starting to escort the payload.
Brigitte?
Yeah, Brigitte and Bap is an interesting combo. I actually haven't seen those two comboed together yet in a game. And with Mercy Kiriko on Fisher's side, it's hard to tell what sort of combinations we could be looking at and who has the competition here.
Sigma's also in life in the S-tier thing. Almost in return to Reinhardt, even if I have a field able to throw long-range projectiles.
Yeah, being able to see that that meteor get like thrown, that can stun and throw you off a little bit. And Synecdoche coming in with those headshots, doing a great job there with the Widowmaker plays. Getting a kill on the Eclipse, CC is down in support. And also getting Synecdoche that Dragon Blade.
Sigma action, Sigma gets the best.
And it looks like Sigma's coming up on his Davidic Flux too, so that'll be very exciting to watch.
My least favorite ultimate in the game, probably.
Oh, and here goes the
it is.
Davidic Flux, throwing Avani up into the air and slamming him back down.
I didn't realize you could attack using your ultimate.
You can move, you can shoot, you can do anything. It's the people caught in the Gravitic Flux that cannot do anything. Bomax doing a great job there with that Gravitic Flux.
Wow,
Kind of holding
a wasted ult there by Kiriko now.
Did they use? They used the Kitsune Rush?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. That's insane. Yeah, sure enough, at 3% ult charge, never used Kitsune Rush. Forgotten coming up and using the Widowmaker as well now. So it's a battle of the
Wow.
Bomax hitting a body and abs.
It is so satisfying to watch him kill Sigma. It's meteor straight to it.
Hanzo and Widowmaker from Fisher's side. That's an interesting composition.
Kiriko, hang on.
Oh, Bomax is trying to like kind of poke at Forgotten's there. Oh, and they're pulling out the Sigma in return.
Wow.
Trying to kind of mimic the comp a little bit. Ab switching off Mercy and going to Zenyatta. Cinderella's thrown out Bob, but Bob's got taken out.
They say don't be fire with fire, but it's like that's what's happening right now.
Oh, it looks like they tried to go back and test, but they weren't able to fully secure the payload.
That was another 240 for Fisher College.
Oh, Neb getting a headshot onto Synecdoche, and Kabe also getting a Tinkerbell. They're starting to really push GCU back. However, it doesn't look like anyone's actually on the payload. They're too focused on wiping GCU out.
Oh man, they gotta get on the payload. Oh, that's
Entire team.
a saving grace for GCU. No push.
That is time wasted right now
It is.
on Fisher.
There we go. Finally started it. So.
Yeah, one person now going back to the payload while everyone else fights GCU. Ab's getting is that a 3K? From the Zenyatta?
It looked like it. Zenyatta is relentless when given to the right man.
Man, they are really trying to hold GCU at Bahan and succeeding. This is very unfortunate to see. Although Bomax has his Gravitic Flux, can he use this to his advantage? To get taken out. Fortunately, the answer is the latter.
They have not. They just made the switch to Tracer, but it's interesting to see them go from Ashe to Widows to Genji and Tracer just because of how the map changes. It's helpful on the payload.
Yeah, it's a little disheartening to see that GCU is being held so close to Spawn at the moment. And
Sigma getting the kill on Hanzo, but
Bonnie has used that Gravitic Flux on the Bomax, and so it looks like he... Oh! No one is on the payload again! It's
no one
being
is on the
pushed
payload. It's
back.
being pushed back because no one's on it. Fisher is not getting it right
Neglecting
now.
the payload, and with 45-ish seconds on the clock, they're just now starting to push this.
Wow, GCU has a really good chance because of Fisher's neglect for the payload.
If they keep neglecting it, GCU might actually get more of an advantage than one realized.
Absolutely. Fisher definitely could have took this one home, but
It's just 3 ultimates. If they can time it just right here, there goes that window.
wow,
Are they going to
great
bring out
ult.
the Gravitic Flux?
A great ult.
Looks like they might be able to actually not. They didn't even have to use all of their ults. They still got Gravitic Flux Blade and.
Wow.
Oh, there goes that Pulse Bomb.
Yep.
The Pulse Bomb didn't seem to kill anybody, but they are holding them at bay. And there goes the Dragon Blade.
2 seconds left.
And
Just
there it is!
Money.
Fisher actually threw.
They threw.
They absolutely threw that round because for almost half the round, no one was pushing that payload. They were too focused on trying to keep GCU in their spawn. And so now we are looking at the potential for an incredible comeback from GCU because they didn't even make it to that second point.
I gotta say, if GCU comes back and takes this match, it is definitely Fisher's College's fault at this point.
Even if push came to shove and they were having some tough team engagements, it's still much easier for GCU to get to that point than have to try and get all the way through.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, neglecting the payload is probably the worst thing you can do in Overwatch. Just always push in, making sure you can get to the furthest point as possible. Just gives you that much more of an advantage.
Exactly, and that's where we actually get our iconic C9
Yes.
term from. And it's tragic when a team neglects their payload.
It's tragic. It is heart-wrenching.
It's like they're trying to play the piano
They're
here.
trying to play some musical keys here.
Not so gracefully. Not like the best piano sounds I've heard.
Oh, Genji has to play. Mercy's not having it.
Right?
Maybe Fisher plays it.
Q-Tip and Twinkerfell just having a little bonding moment, trying to have a little duo.
I know Genji and Mercy have some more thing going on, so.
And there goes that switch on to Lucio. And now we're starting to see that mimic comp from earlier. What is Q-Tip doing?
Wow!
Going around
Lucio doing some insane
Woo!
movement.
And that is another great benefit to Lucio. One of his strengths is that insane mobility, yeah. But he wasn't careful.
He was not.
He got a little too aggressive, and that can also be the downside. If you're too aggressive with Lucio and you don't try and steal yourself through some of that damage, you risk being taken out with that.
It's almost like a one-man Far Mercy and a foot away. You do healies, you make sure you high up,
Yeah.
get your damage.
Yeah, it looks like GCU is going to have to do a little reset, but that's okay. They actually got a little bit of some push there. So now they're going to have to wait for Q-Tip to respawn, and there he is. And so now they are going to group. Oh!
Wow, a snipe.
What a shot from Forgotten under Red Dawn.
Oh, a headshot, another headshot.
Onto Bomax. That's two.
A triple!
3 headshots from Forgotten.
That might be play.
Ooh.
You see, that Widow used the grapple to get the open, to get the headshot in the air.
That was
a skill play.
incredible. And so now GC's gonna have to group up again. But they still have 2.5 minutes on the clock. So I am holding out hope that they are gonna be able to push this. Cynic's already taken out Forgotten. That was one of their major problems. And so now they're gonna be able to start pushing forward a little bit more confident. There we go. There's that group synergy using the Baptiste to do some AoE healing with those little healing grenades.
Baptiste shots are very
The
good.
payload. And there we go. Look at those saves. Keeping his team alive. Although Abe and Avani starting to make that comeback there. Oh!
At least he's
now
pushing the payload.
Red Dawn. But GCU is coming up on 3 ultimates now. We already have that Matrix from Red Dawn. And then we're going to have Dragon Blade, Pulse Bomb. And we're coming up on Gravitic Flux very quickly.
Lucio might get his as well.
This is going to switch up to that
There's the
healing.
Flux.
And coming up from that cooldown. Twinkerfell getting that kill onto Avani. So now that's their tank gone. They can start being a little bit more aggressive on that push. Oh! Spotting that Forgotten was behind them.
Q-Tip making sure to mark the player so everyone knows where he's at.
That ping system in Overwatch is so amazing.
It is
I'm
so
so glad that they added this into the game. So now, GCU, well, using Gravitic Flux and that Matrix, or the amplification window, that's what it is. They still have 3 ultimates under their belt. Nev just used their Amp Matrix. GCU going in for that down barrier. Tinkerbell activating that Dragon Blade. Are they going to be able to get anything in that blade?
Oh.
Yes, and the Pulse Bomb getting Kabe. They're trying to get a push. Red Dawn got taken out, but T-Chip's doing really well here, using the payload to his advantage, but getting taken out by Forgotten. Dragon Blade.
Q-Tip really did his
Oh,
best.
Bomax getting a nice shot onto Forgotten, but GCU only has one more push.
One more push, one last push.
No, they've got to be very careful about this. 20 seconds left on the clock. Can GCU break True.
Support has been doing a great job maximizing their abilities, doing the best they can.
They're gonna try, probably have to CTF go for the touch would be their ideal situation here. Are they gonna get it? 5 seconds left. 3,
They need
2,
to contest.
1.
They got on it
All right,
with
they
the
got the touch,
invincibility.
but CTF
Oh,
and Bomax
man.
are already gone. Synecdoche is the last one left
Wow.
for Wicker Bell.
Wow!
That is a full
Wow!
3-0 win.
Maybe Fisher didn't push the payload because they wanted the match to end sooner.
Who knows?
I gotta say, that was GCU's time to come back, but very well played
Forgotten
game.
with that Widowmaker. Very, very awesome gameplay here. Rare that you get to see this sort of Widowmaker gameplay here. That nice little quick flick onto that little grapple there too.
You know he plays Call of Duty time to time.
Quite unfortunately, that is another 0-3 for GCU.
That is a 0-3. That's a skunk. That's a match and game.
Yeah. This is only week 2 though, and we still have several more matches to go. And right now with new heroes being implemented, it's very hard to say how comps will work and which ones will do better than others. I mean, clearly we saw a bunch of different comps being used in terms of overall teams and which heroes got switched out. I mean, we were seeing all sorts of tanks.
Oh, yes.
Like we were seeing Zarya, Sigma, Wrecking Ball.
Doomfist.
I was incredibly surprised to see Doomfist. I mean, considering the state that people think he's in, seeing Doomfist and Avani making it work for a little while was very cool.
Absolutely. I think this is one of the beautiful things about Overwatch. Even the worst players, if someone gets super good with them, they can really be unstoppable.
Exactly. Sometimes it's not like even if a character is considered low tier, if you know how to use those abilities and use them well and be able to synergize with a team member, that's all it takes.
The game is always very well balanced, in my opinion. Awesome to see Kiriko in competitive play finally. I mean, we saw lots of great heals, lots of great teleportation. Very interested to see how she plays with Pharah in the future. See if we can get kind of a Pharah Mercy combo going, but with Kiriko. Really just amazing game to watch.
Yeah, it was
bit of
nice
trolling
to see
going
Kiriko
on.
in now. Hopefully we will be seeing some more gameplay here soon.
Yes,
we
and
should
we'll
be having another match coming in next week, I believe. And so we do not quite have all the information on that yet.
Do you think we'll see Bastion or Torbjorn in the future
No,
at
I
all?
don't. At least not yet. I mean, I know Blizzard was supposed to be coming out with a patch because right now, Junkertown, Bastion, and Torbjorn are now disabled.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, I mean, we already knew about Torbjorn and Bastion from last week. However, Junkertown was new because it started giving players graphic issues.
Oh, I didn't realize that's what the reason
So
was.
now it became a bug. And so now here are our upcoming streams. We will have Valorant, our team versus USC Cardinals on the 24th at 8 p.m. And then we will have Rocket League versus CPSUL. And that'll be on October 25th at 5 p.m. League of Legends versus Montana University at 7 p.m. on October 26th. And then we have our Firefox Fridays every Friday for Super Smash Bros. From 7:30 onward.
I went to my first FFF last week.
Oh, did you?
It was actually a lot of fun. If you guys haven't been before and you want to play Smash or ever a fan of it, it's great competition to watch. They always have a bracket going on, so everyone has a chance to compete. So
Yeah.
honestly, a lot of fun. Great event. And it was sponsored by Canes. Big shout out to Canes.
And we are also powered by Rockstar, so it is awesome to always have those. Speaking of powered by Rockstar, we are now incorporating Purple Rain, GCU's new Valorant series that is beginning February 20th, 2023. And so right now, registration will be open from January 7th to February 10th.
And Purple Rain is the Valorant series that is exclusively for women, am I correct?
Women and I believe marginalized genders, if I'm not mistaken.
Awesome.
And so this is presented by Rockstar with a $5,000 prize pool, and you can have up to 16 collegiate teams entering this tournament. For more information on Purple Rain and GCU Esports, feel free to scan that QR code and also join our GCU Esports Discord, So this is very exciting. I had known about Purple Rain for a little bit, and it's really cool to see how big esports here has truly grown. Because I remember when I started here first in my freshman year, we only had like a fraction of what we have now. The gaming space wasn't nearly as big, and we didn't have as many teams as we do now, especially with now having these broad